This week on Sailing Lady Africa, Ricky almost makes me get stuck. Our galley finally starts to come together. I prime the cabinetry and Ricky starts routing our saloon seating area. So let's take off into this new episode.
So we're going to start putting in these front panels, and the way that I do it is I cut it to size, but not precisely to size. I leave about 10 mils, I'd say. So half an inch, just less than half an inch. And then I pre-drill the holes, and I put a couple of screws in, just in place. And then I take a Sharpie or a marker, and I mark the inside. And then I take that panel out, and I've got those measurements, and I'll just add some distance onto that, some measurements onto that, and then that will be where my cutouts go, as opposed to having to do the cutouts once it's already on.
Ricky first secures the plyboard so that his measurements are accurate, and then starts to template out where each opening will go.
So what I do now is I mark on the inside of all of them. So I go here, mark around there, mark around there. And it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you're getting the main outside lines. And once we take it off now, then those lines will be on the back, and we'll just template from that, and that will be exactly where our cavities go. We'll cut them, and then the final fit will already be with all the holes. So I trick Simone and tell her that the only way I can do the markups is if she goes in the cavity. and that's what happens. Simone's in the hole. Hey honey.
Hello.
Oh man, I'm mean at times. I love you, Anne.
I love you too.
Oh. I get Moses to give her light from the little hole that I have there. So here's after Simone's marked the inside, and all we do now is separate our distances, do our rounded edges with the profile that we have, and then we do all the cutouts. And that's it.
Ricky then starts routing the plyboard so that it can have a flush finish and fit perfectly against the framing of our cabinetry. Ricky also routed the hole for our oven to fit into. Brownies are being served. Then it was time to start making our openings in our cabinetry.
It's 6:30. We've kind of got permission to work on the boat indirectly. As long as we work on the inside and they don't see anything on the outside, we're fine. So we're trying to push as hard as we can to make up time that we lost this week. So pushing hard. Here's our, this is going to be under the sink, and we've just cut out all the holes. And now I'm gonna take the dimensions to guys that got a laser cutter or otherwise a CNC cutter, and we're gonna get them to cut out all our doors to the perfect size that we want out of marine ply, and then we'll maybe either we're gonna laminate it or we're gonna get that to be high gloss 2K paint. So we'll still see what we decide on there.
Our galley is almost complete.
It's Sunday, it's around about, I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we took the morning off and did all the things we had to do, church and visit the grandparents, and you know, they're always there to spoil us and have lunch, and so we had lunch by them. Now we're back on the boat to try and recover those 2 days. Cut out all of these, cut out all of these, so then we just get the countertops. Yeah, we still got the shelving to cut out, but I want to buy the racks that are going to roll in and out. Before I do that, I'm going to make a little lock mechanism so they can't fly out, but we'll still see. We haven't decided on that. Our fridge, trash can will come in there once we're done, and that one still has a bit of work to do. Okay, it's just countertops.
We also cut out the openings for our shelving behind our saloon seating area on the starboard side. This will remain open.
Going to be our nav, well not nav area, instrument area. We'll have all our DC, our entire DC panel over here. Behind this one we're going to have AC. So DC will be there, AC will be here. Alternatively, AC will have its own panel at the bottom here. There's just some reinforcing that still needs to be placed like that. Otherwise they haven't decided yet. This will be the back of where our instruments are. All of this will be closed up nicely. We'll have a panel that lifts up like this, so you can access all the back of the instruments. Have a hole down here, run DC all along one side and run AC all independent along this side, so you can keep them far apart from each other so we don't get any interference, hopefully. So yeah, that's the plan. And obviously behind is where you saw where we installed that 100mm PVC pipe, and that's just below this area here. The conditions we have to work in, we've got to close ourselves inside here, and yeah, that's not cool, but it is what it is. And we've got this step that I'm building over here, and the reason why I'm building this is when we don't want these storm shutters kind of thing on, we've got a guy to manufacture us an aluminium sliding door, or it's actually a sliding stacker. So it's a double sliding that will stack onto each other, and they'll end here on the end. So, but I don't want to finish it up before he hasn't been here taking the final dimensions of what space and whatnot. But yeah, that's the idea of this. So this will be closed up nicely here, and then we'll have 2 or 3 fire extinguishers in the bottom here that will fit nicely behind some well marked doors that say fire extinguisher. Our baby's coming along. A lot of work, but Sunday, Monday, whatever day, we're gonna push. I can smell the Bahamas already, and the Caribbean.
Smells good. What you doing?
I'm setting up the position of where all the down lights are going to be, where the courtesy lights are, where 220 volts and 12 volt systems are coming, so that I can run with it like that.
Ricky started to router our saloon seating area to give it a more round finish. Ricky then sanded afterwards to give it a smoother finish. Ricky then started sanding our fillets down.
and credit for that to Dave from Durban. Thanks a million. We did a big fillet with cotton blocks, so structural fillet, and then we put peel ply over it, but there was a slight little bit of inconsistency. It's pretty close, and because we pulled it with a 50mm pipe, and Graham for the 50mm pipe, he gave us that idea. But there's still a little, it's not perfect everywhere. And then we take one of these, just on a flapper on a drill, and we run it through, and it just evens out any high spots that were left behind. That's perfect, and that's, check that what the router does, and now it'll be all curved edges. And it looks sweet.
Started filling up any imperfections that the router may have left behind. Ricky and Moses started gluing and epoxying in our galley cabinetry opening. A lot of epoxying makes you lose your mind. Ricky then cut out the opening where our drawers will be inserted. We also managed to get another sheet of Nidacore laminated. And I drilled some holes into our hatch lids on the saloon seating area. Then came my favorite time, painting.
The sand, you see there's a small little edge over there. See that small little edge? We're going to sand it. By the time we're done, it'll look like this. When we're done, that'll be the final. And then once it's set up like that, then we'll prime it. And then sand the primer down again, and then put the final coat on it. So after about 180 sanding discs that we used to take the whole 8 layers of anti-fouling off, these machines' bottom pads are pretty worn, so we're just going to go quickly and get some replacements for these wear pads, because as you can see, they put that on and it's not velcroing on anymore, so the velcro is done. But yeah, these are pretty solid machines. So what I do is I first draw everything out with a Sharpie or a Koki. Draw everything out so that I got the layout of where the appliances are going to be. Then I do the frame work without gluing it in place. So I do the whole framework, and then I remeasure the appliances to make double sure that the specs that they say online where that we bought it from match exactly to what the product actual size is. And then I do the whole entire build up without the appliances frame wise. And once everything checks out and the operation of what lids are going to open and close, then I put the final sheeting on it. And then obviously we glue everything together and put it in place and epoxy it. So that over there is the full hoses, full and overflow for our water tank. And that water tank literally runs from right here where I'm standing, all the way to the front bulkhead. What we're doing now is epoxying it in, and we leave a bit of excess on the edge here, because then tomorrow we take a router and we cut all of this off. And the router seems to do quite fine to cut the epoxy resin that's with cotton blocks. The bit goes blunt relatively quickly, after a couple of passes, but I mean, it seems to give us our desired result. So.
Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe below if you haven't already. I'm currently in the car working on this video for you guys. I have a plane to catch later around 2 o'clock. I'm flying to Johannesburg to go meet up with my brothers and my mom, who is flying in from Durban. And we have my Oma's 80th birthday and it's going to be awesome. And Oma's grandma, in case you guys didn't know. We are meeting up with the family. We're gonna have a good get together. It's gonna be great. I haven't seen my family in quite a while, so it's gonna be cool. We'd like to say thank you to our new patron, Family Explorer, aka Mark. We appreciate your donation tremendously. And also thank you for the positive comments from all you guys. We also appreciate that, because as you know, boat building is no joke, so sometimes it can become quite stressful and you feel down and kind of not want to give up, but you just want to take a break. So your guys' positive comments keeps us going through the week and keeps us trucking on, so we appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Stay tuned till next week, where Ricky does some more cabinetry work, I take my trip to Joburg, and you see my family, although I missed Ricky the whole time.